Vintage Divers, Alec Pierce, Vintage Scuba. Now, Kevin and I have done a couple of these vintage movie series, mainly on using posters, and I've already shown you a number of posters and lobby cards and all kinds of neat stuff. But let's share another aspect of this vintage scuba movies, movie posters, and so on. And that is that these lobby cards, this is what's called a lobby card. I discussed this in one of my previous videos, a lobby card. So these are small cards. This is Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. And you can see a couple of divers down there struggling, and you can see the shipwreck and all kinds of neat junk on there. And this, this also, my director is telling me to smarten up. This also had some people we knew. Michael Caine, you know Michael Caine, of course, Sally Field, well-known actor. This is relatively recent. This is not so much vintage. I think this is from the 70s. Telly Savalas, yes, he's gone now, but a wonderful actor. Slim Pickens. Slim Pickens. I didn't even know that. But anyway, but this is kind of neat. Watch. There's one lobby card, right? 2. It's all different. 3, 4. You see, there's a whole series of them. Now, I don't know exactly how many were in this series. I seem to have quite a few of them. There were typically 4, 6, 8. The occasional big movie might have a dozen or more, but typically 6, 7, 8 of these lobby cards. And real movie collectors, movie memorabilia collectors, their passion, of course, is to get them all. Yeah, get them all. And so there's a whole series. I have no idea how many are in this series. I would have to check. And there are actually websites and collectors who know that information. They know how many of these lobby cards for this particular movie, and so we'd be able to tell. With other movies, it's a little bit easier. With this particular movie, which we also, I think, discussed briefly before, did we not talk about Ghost Diver? I think again we had the full sheet for this movie. Now this is old. This is from the 50s, and Ghost Diver was a pretty exciting movie. You see, it's got all the elements of a great scuba diving movie. It's got a something dangerous. In this case, a ghost diver. This hard hat diver who was pretty ghostly looking, and if you went into his realm, he would kill you. It's all explained on the movie poster. And it had a beautiful girl, and it had a long, silly knife, and sea creatures, all kinds of neat stuff. So this was a well-known movie as well. These are the lobby cards, and these are actually numbered. So there's number 1, number 2. You can see that beautiful woman down there diving. These are colorized. I think you can tell. These are not real photographs, colorized. Number 3 on the surface. Number 4, there's a hard hat diver. I think this hard hat diver is hard to tell. Number 5. Number 6. The girl in a fight. You have to have a beautiful girl in a fight, and have to have that. Number 7, I think that's all I have, so I don't know how many are in there. I don't know, but you see, they came in a series. So if you're a collector, you would want to get them all if you're interested in that series. So now, how many of these were there? Well, I've shown you a few, and I have many more. Let me just give you an idea. There were lots and lots of underwater movies from the 50s and 60s into the 70s. It even happens today, although not quite so much. Underwater, scuba diving and underwater is not such a big deal anymore. In the 50s and 60s, wow, that was like Star Trek. Better than Star Trek, quite frankly. So here's a couple here. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a famous movie. Shark Treasure, another famous movie. World Without Sun. Right, this is a movie produced by Jacques Cousteau, as you know. This was his second big movie. The Snorkel, we talked about this one, how there was this scary guy used a snorkel to kill people underwater. Yeah, there's a movie card. City Beneath the Sea, Robert Ryan, Anthony Quinn. Yeah, City Beneath the Sea. Let's keep going here. Not just one, yep. From Earth to the Moon. What's it got to do with scuba diving? Well, in fact, there were scuba divers on that particular movie. The Phantom Submarine. You can see divers and all kinds of neat stuff in there, and all the usual stuff. Vengeance of the Deep. A hard hat diver and another hard hat diver fighting it out, and beautiful girl. Everything to make a movie exciting. You see, on it goes, there are just dozens. And this is funny. First Men to the Moon. Yeah, and they wore hard hat outfits. Now, I've not seen this movie, so I have no idea why these guys are wearing hard hat outfits, but they did. Now, here's a special one, a very, very special one. To me, it's special anyway. It's called Underwater, and it was a Howard Hughes production. In the 50s, Howard Hughes, the famous multi-millionaire, had his own movie studio. He wanted to be in movies, so he made his own movie. I guess you have money, that's what you do. I want to be in the movies, so you buy a studio, whatever. And he made this movie. It's one of his many productions. And this movie starred Jane Russell, yes, who was a beautiful, beautiful actress, very well known, a very, very beautiful actress, and a neat poster, lobby card. And there's a series of these as well, a few of them. I don't remember exactly how many. I have a few of them in there. But this is kind of neat, a short story. Jane Russell moved in California, and she moved so that she was a neighbor of a very good friend of mine, Sam. You're going to meet Sam, actually. Eventually, Sam is a vintage diver, and Sam and I are in constant contact. Wonderful man. And Jane Russell moved to Sam's community in mid-California, and Sam told me about it. And Sam said to me, one of these days I'm going to wander down the street and I'm going to meet Jane Russell. I want to meet her. I said, oh, Sam, I have a movie poster, because I do. I have a big movie poster of underwater with the same picture on it. Beautiful picture of Jane Russell in her red bathing suit, trademark. And I said, I'm going to send it to you, Sam. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it by special delivery so it's well taken care of. And I want you to take it with you and see if you can get Jane Russell to sign it for me. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, seriously, it'd be great to have my movie poster of underwater actually autographed by Jane Russell. Yeah. Sam said, of course, I'd be happy to do that. He said, in fact, I'll use that as an excuse to get to know her. And I was all excited. I was getting all ready to do that. And unfortunately, Jane Russell took sick and got fairly sick, and she had to move back to Los Angeles to be with her daughter, so her daughter could take care of it. So that never happened. And I was a little upset, excited, and then upset about it. But anyway, a bit of a story about this particular movie, Howard Hughes production with Jane Russell. So there's an idea. There's a dozen lobby cards. I have many, many more, plus a series we've seen. A little more information about vintage movie lobby cards that might be of interest to you as vintage divers. Maybe you have seen some of these movies. Maybe you'd like to collect some of these movie posters. As I mentioned earlier, all of my vintage equipment over a period of time will be for sale. So if you see something here and oh wow, I want to have that, don't be afraid to contact me and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, hope that was interesting. Hope you enjoyed it. Caught something in there that made you excited. That's all I'm here for. Thanks very much for watching. Alec Pierce, Vintage Scuba.